a trailer for this head, so we're going to take it off, set it down. We got to get our 645 picked up, make sure it's going to be compatible with the 680. I'm sure it is, but we've not done that yet, so we're going to work on that. This is going to make it easy. We're just going to set the head out here by the shop on the ground. We got the legs down. Got the 4x4s. Shouldn't be too bad. I just got position. I mean, you can kind of see there. Those legs drop down just enough to set down. Goes uphill slightly. We want to just put it up here out of the way. Down right here. Looks like that worked pretty good. It's not on our stompers. Oh yeah. Just had to run our legs out. He's gonna go over here and pick up the 645. But first, we better unstrap it. This will be our first time picking up our 645 since we bought it at auction last winter. We've not spun it, picked it up. Just now unstrapped it for the first time, so you guys are going to see it run with me first time. Got it picked up. Woo, that's a big boy. He's looking over here, make sure they doesn't have anything that's going to drag. We've never had this head off the trailer. Calibration. At least it's you breaking the law this time and not me. Been working on this 645FD. We had one of the fingers, needed some work. And there's a bar that runs across to some sensors. That was hanging up a little bit, wouldn't let it go through calibration. We fixed that, it started to go through calibration. And now our belts want to stop turning. We're not sure on that yet. Might be go time today, guys. We're getting close. We got the 680 and the 645FD. Had a roller stuck. Brian figured that out down here on the end. It was causing the belts not to turn. We kind of went home with that last night. Got that fixed, and we're rolling right now. He's tensioning the belts. I found a bolt loose on the center belt. The center belt's a little tired. We debated on replacing it, but I don't think we're going to. But it is missing a bolt. It's a little different system than the Maiden. So far, don't mind working on the head, getting used to it is a big thing. But as we get familiar with the head, we'll kind of see and do some comparisons. Now our S780, as of right now, they're going to be doing work on that 5-speed. They can turn it around pretty fast, but we're only going to have a couple of fields ready, so we're not going to get too antsy about it. We wanted to run the 780 on the new head, but both heads, both combines, everything can run everything, kind of like that. Luckily, we have a 2017 S680. So going to this 645FD, it's a 2018. It's not bad. They're similar in years. So that's kind of nice, keeping the combines close in years. A lot of the stuff's interchangeable. Brian's tensioning the belts. Just kind of learning the process on this head. It's a little different. Now, different from the Maiden, a lot of the settings are going to be in our console. We can adjust our belt speed there. Several of those things are pretty nice. The main thing with us, on our rolling terrain and being on 45 feet, the Maiden, sometimes it's just hard to keep it glued to the ground, and yet there's just kind of a balance there. Sometimes I feel like we miss that a little bit on some of our really hilly terrain, whereas this Hydroflex, we can kind of adjust the pressure. Don't know, we're going to see, but I'm guessing they're tit for tat, Ford for Chevy. Probably the same deal, but I'm excited to put them head for head. It's going to make this a lot of fun. And yes, we finally let this thing burn out. We're going to sit here and let it burn some fuel for a little bit, and the computer will tell us when it's happy. Learning more about this John Deere head. Just trying to figure out a few things. It's different than the Maiden. A lot of things are kind of so far been pretty cool how they do it. We're just seeing how these kind of support the belt there. That's different from the Maiden. Doing some learning, guys. I see we are missing a bolt right here, which isn't a big deal. The big one, though, is right back here. We're missing a bolt, and these belts splice differently. Also, these belts, normally the Maiden, these splice, and that splice is hard to put together. There's a video, and I'll share a link if I remember it, where we put the Maiden together, Brennan and I. Kind of a battle. Well, these, it appears they might be a little easier to change. I don't want to say that because I've not done it yet, but I think we just take this up and you slide this whole belt off instead of snaking it up and through. So I don't know, we're going to see on that. Now, I did like the drum yesterday. I had one of the fingers broke. You take a grinder, you grind this bolt off, they drop in, this pops off, you can take this panel out. In the old days, these were threaded in to your drum, and your drum gets bent, and you can't do anything with that. It just makes a mess of it. Well, with this, you got nuts on the back side. Well, as long as the nuts are new, they go right on. Went to spin. I couldn't figure out why it just spins. Well, there's a nut on the back side, and I end up grinding the heads off. Well, when you grind the head off and it's threaded, you're in bad shape too. With a nut on the back side, just push it right in. So I can't believe the drum was reasonably easy to work on for what a drum is. To me, these are one of the worst areas. This, and nobody likes working on that. And we'll talk about that at another time, but on the Maidens, those are usually a pill. I'm sure it is on this too. Ryan's going to look into a new belt. I don't know. We'll run it, but I've got a feeling we're going to want a new one. To be expected. Now, being 45 feet, it drives off both ends, so it's a dual drive head. Has to be expected. Some of the 40 feet Maidens, they drive single drive. We had one of those. It worked out fine. Now, we don't like the overlap to work on. That's the negative to the dual drive. These overlap one another. There's some special parts. Got a whole nother drive head on it, but when you got dual drive and 45 feet, it's the way to go. I don't even think they offer anything but that. But it makes it to where these would jam each other, and they just overlap here in the center, just like the maiden. We spoke in previous videos about it. So I've got to make sure I have these parts in stock is the big thing. That's probably so far has been the big challenge. When we bought the other Geringhoff, the parts match, so it's not really a big issue. By having a maiden and then having a John Deere head, we're having to stock some new parts. So we'll get used to that, see how that goes, but I'm sure something will evolve from this, so we'll take you guys along for the ride. You guys look like you're headed off to have some fun. We're tired of hearing you run. Are you done burning out yet? It's a wild card. If you shut it off too soon, it'll make you do it again. It says I had 2 minutes to go. It's been running for a long time. It'll work out. Welcome to BP Farming. We're getting ready to harvest some beans. Day one. We're hooking the head up for the first time. We had it there in the barnyard, but yeah, it's harvest time, guys. We're here. We're going to cut our first planted beans. Brennan got these planted really early. We ran the fall disc. This is our first planted field, so we're going to give this a shot. If we're 15 or below, we're playing ball. We're going to go ahead and start harvest. We're running our 680 and our 645FD. Got those mated up. Our 780 still at the dealer, so this is going to be our maiden voyage on our auction 645FD 45-foot draper. We've not ran it yet. We're going to do a lot of learning, but yeah, got some great looking beans. These are Becks Enlist beans. Look good all summer. We stayed dry here at the last. I'm sure we've knocked 5 to 10 bushel out of our potential, but overall we've had a pretty fair growing season. So it's our first day, harvest 2025. been macked on for quite a while, so it's going to take some getting used to. Okay, so we're going to get out and do a little looking around, do a moisture check. We don't have anything calibrated, that kind of stuff. So the first day, it's going to be slow. We got out a little too fast, it warned you. That's a safety feature. As long as that chopper is still spinning, this combine, those alarms will go off because they don't want you to step behind the combine. One of the farmer fatality injuries that occur is getting behind the chopper and getting hit with something. So you always want to be mindful of that. The cut looks good. I just got to get back here where we're cruising and see how our losses are, do a little digging. Lightly we'll move some debris around. We'll find a bean or two, that's common. We'll determine where the losses come from by digging across here. I'm seeing here and there, I'm wondering how much of that's cutter bar. So we can see up here, like this is obviously the combine not losing. We'll find a bean here and there, and there's no way getting around it. They set right on the ground. So you're going to have little losses like that. You just got to identify whether the head is putting the beans down or the machine. I'm not seeing any excessive losses. We're going to get the grain cart. It's got scales. We'll have to do a calibration. Door for the re-thresher was open. That'd be my bad. He just pulled an 11.7 moisture. Wow, didn't think that. I feel like we're right on top of them. I see yellow leaves, all those things, but they've dried down extremely fast here this last, most of a month now. We've had really good rains until now, and just right when we're topping the crop off there in August, we went dry, and we've been dry since. So hopefully I didn't knock too much out of the top end. See if this early planted. It's always interesting, but usually that pays off in beans. Not very pretty yet. Mostly a whole top. Got no split. Splits look good, it's just got some fat ones and some pods. He's going to get a weight on this first dump so we can get a yield monitor calibration. Start that process. Keep getting an error code for moisture sensor. Brian's replaced it before. He replaced the motor and it fixed it. Hoping it frees up, but we don't know. Maybe by the end of the day we'll get lucky. So fingers crossed there, but the moisture, it's crazy that these are as dry as they are. There's a few yellow stems, some green leaves, but overall, it's go time. We normally battle all the green stems and all that. It's not going to be any of that this year, apparently. can't steer, but our moisture sensor fired up and it's now working. That's nice. Now if it'll just steer, we'll be in business. Not too bad. Planning on just running this 80-acre field today. And maybe there's a 60 across the road that's close. From there, we're just kind of pecking. Probably for another week or so before we can really run hard. But if we could knock this 80 out, that'd be great. 780's missing out on the party. Load of soybeans. There's some green ones, but overall we're dry. Nose getting us topped up. Our 1300, the augers are really wore out on it, but it unloads fast. 22-inch unload. This thing when it's new is rated 750 bushels a minute. It's legit. But it's not that mean now. It's a little tired, but it's still plenty mean to get the job done. See up inside the grain cart. This is a dual auger cart, so it has an auger running on the floor and one running up. Some of them just V and they have just one auger. This is a dual auger cart. Now that's nice when you have a little bit of, like, you can see some of the beans sticking. The dual auger cart helps that. It forces it to drag and clean out. Now this looks easy, but it takes a lot of time to learn the grain cart, top trucks up without running over. It's pretty tough. Well, I'm gonna hop in with Brendan. We're gonna get on the road. It's the end of the day. We're gonna get the guys cycled out. And I'm gonna watch for cars so I don't get ran over. Trying to get a good shot, and the sun is, well, sun's just in the wrong spot. Getting ready to do my first dump on the run for the season. Beans are dry, I don't have any yields, any data like that yet. He's still working on things, getting moved into the cab, working the little bugs out. Now with a 45-foot head, it can get a little dicey. Third semi-load. This doesn't take long. 45-foot draper, long rows. These beans are pretty good. So far, don't have the yield, but everything seems pretty good to me. That dump on the run had about 25,000 pounds on it. Now, 60,000 pounds is 1,000 bushel, and we typically can put 1,000 bushel beans on a semi and still be okay. That's usually what we shoot for. This cart has a joystick. You actually have to operate this remote, and this joystick runs all of your spout, raising your auger up and down, those kind of things. Pretty handy, but the buttons are bad on it, so you gotta they're just hard to push. So they went bad. It's been a couple years we've dealt with it like that. Right now it'd be nice to set them a little bit higher so you can see. What I'm doing, just kind of tilt my spout as I ease forward. As soon as I see it show, I need to move. This trailer's deep, so it holds more. I can watch my scales, and as long as I have 30,000 front, 30 back, that's 60,000 pounds, and that's our 1,000 bushels. Make sure I don't hit the semi, and always have to watch for power lines. This 1300, it's nice that it auger raises up, but it raises up high enough you can catch the power line, so you always have to be mindful of that. That's a great first day. We've got our trucks full. They're going to go to ADM tomorrow in the morning, and hopefully we can find some more beans to cut. Usually first day doesn't go like this, knock on wood. It's a pretty good day, guys. He's going to finish up. Full hopper, full semis, and 71,000 pounds on the grain car.